This is Unit 7, Target 3 and 4 homework, page 25, number 28. So let's find the distance between the 2 points. I'm going to do that on the graph first. L is at 7, -1, and M is at -2, 4. And so I want the length of the segment LM, or the distance between the 2 points. One of the strategies from class was to create a right triangle. Between the 2 points, and you can do that for any 2 points on the graph. If I create a right triangle and then count my spaces, horizontally to go from 7 to -2 is going to be 9 boxes, so you can count that 9 units. 7 minus -2 is 9. Vertically, to go from -1 to 4 is going to be 5 boxes. And so I can use the Pythagorean theorem, 5 squared plus 9 squared is equal to the distance squared. So 25 plus 81 is equal to distance squared. So 106 is equal to distance squared. If I take the square root of both sides, the distance is equal to square root of 106. If I take 106 and see if I can break it down into something, I know it's divisible by 2, but I get 2 and 53. I believe 53 is a prime number. And so because it breaks down to 2 times 53 and there are no perfect square factors, then the square root of 106 is the final answer. Square root of 106 is a little bit over 10. So 5 squared plus 9 squared equals a little bit more than 10 squared. I can do the same process or a different process to get the same answer with the distance formula. The distance formula is equal to the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So I'm going to show how to plug that in, as well as show how that is the same thing as the Pythagorean theorem. So distance equals the square root of, I'm going to label my coordinates. Let's see, we'll call the first one x1, y1, and the second one x2, y2. And so if I do the x's, then the first thing I have is -2 minus 7 squared. That -2 minus 7 is going to give me a 9. Then I have that plus the y values. Y values are 4 minus -1 squared. So distance equals the square root of -2 minus 7 is -9. -9 squared is going to give us that 81 that we saw from the Pythagorean theorem. 4 minus a -1 is 5 squared. 5 squared is going to give us the 25 we found with the Pythagorean theorem. And so the distance is equal to the square root of 81 plus 25, which is the square root of 106. So whether I use the distance formula or the Pythagorean theorem, I'll get the same answer. It doesn't matter if I change which point L or M I start with as x1, y1, I'll still get the same result.